As I said after I reviewed this and talked in detail to Shepard's lawyer, I concluded that Wilfrid Laurier had not learned what needed to be learned and launched a claim of my own this week. It reads in part: The plaintiff, that's me, claims against the defendants Nathan Rambukkana, Herbert Pimlott, Adria Joel, and Wilfrid Laurier University the following: $500,000 for defamation, $500,000 for injurious falsehood, $500,000 in punitive damages, prejudgment and post-judgment interest in accordance with the Courts of Justice Act, costs on a substantial indemnity basis, and such further and other relief as counsel may advise and this honourable court may deem just. The plaintiff's claim against Rambukkana, Pimlott, Joel, and the university. Defamatory statements on YouTube. On or about November 2nd, 2017, Rambukkana ordered his then teaching assistant, Lindsay Shepard, to attend what turned out to be a disciplinary meeting with himself, Pimlott, and Joel to discuss her having shown an extract from a TV Ontario program to her students. The TV Ontario program, moderated by Steve Paikin, consisted of a debate between Peterson and Nicholas Matt. At the meeting on or about November 2nd, 2017, Rambukkana, Pimlott, and Joel each made numerous defamatory statements about Peterson, all of which the others endorsed, both expressly and implied. The meeting's content has since been posted online on the video sharing website YouTube and is available on the internet, where it is open to the public and easily accessible by anyone who wishes to view its content. I'm skipping a bit here. At the meeting on or about November 2nd, 2017, Rambukkana, Pimlott, and Joel falsely and maliciously made numerous defamatory statements about Peterson, including, but not limited to, the following. Defamatory statements made by Rambukkana. A. Peterson identified student protesters by posting their social media accounts for the purpose of other people bullying and threatening them online. B. Peterson is basically debating whether or not a trans student should have rights. C. Peterson's position would be the equivalent of debating whether or not a student of color should have rights or should be allowed to be married, contrary to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. D. Peterson has engaged in the targeting of trans students, giving out their personal information for the purpose of having them attacked, harassed, so that death threats will find them. This is something that Peterson has done to his own students. Peterson has done to other students. E. Playing a speech by Peterson is basically like playing a speech by Hitler. F. Peterson's opinion is, like alt-right opinion, white supremacist opinion, anti-trans opinion, anti-gay opinion, anti-woman, misogynist opinion. G. Peterson's view is whether trans people are people or not. Defamatory statements made by Pimlott. Peterson is academically suspect, to say the least. He does not have the substantial academic evidence to be a credible person. B. Peterson's positions don't have credible evidence, just like Charles Murray with his race claims of white superiority. C. Peterson brings hatred and targets groups. D. Peterson exhibits charlatanism. E. Peterson has nothing really that is credible in terms of research. Defamatory statements made by Joel. A. Peterson's position is causing harm to trans students by framing their identity as invalid or their pronouns as invalid, contrary to the Ontario Human Rights Code. B. Peterson is spreading transphobia. Now I'm skipping ahead a bit again. The said words, in their natural and ordinary meaning, and the connotation of the comments, obvious to any reader, were meant and were understood to mean that Peterson is comparable to Adolf Hitler, the greatest despot in world history, deliberately spreads hatred both generally and in particular to students, is a member of the alt-right, is unfit to be a professor, breaches the code of ethics of his profession and university, is a white supremacist, has and expresses opinions which are uninformed and uneducated, is sexist, is misogynist, is racist, is homophobic, is transphobic, is a deplorable person, is incompetent, is a reprobate, lacks integrity, lacks the appropriate ethics to be a psychologist and professor, is a bully and abusive towards students, wants to deprive minorities of any rights, organizes attacks, even death threats on students, breaches Canadian law, dehumanizes certain of his students, and lacks credibility and credentials. The statements made by Rambukkana, Pimlott, and Joel infer all of the above, including, but not limited to, that Peterson is unsavory, sexist, misogynist, dangerous, racist, homophobic, transphobic, analogous to Adolf Hitler, and incompetent in his profession as an author, teacher, and professor, and were false, and specifically designed to impugn his reputation. These defamatory statements were malicious and designed specifically to damage his personal and professional character as a professor, author, lecturer, and public intellectual. Well, you get the picture. That's the end of that. I'm hoping that the combination of the two lawsuits will be enough to convince careless university professors and administrators blinded by their own ideology to be much more circumspect in their actions and their words. We'll see how that plays out.